Hey everybody, and of course, welcome back to another very special episode of Kinfolk and Nem with my kinfolk G Boogie, Nap, Ish, and we have a very special member joining us tonight and for our future broadcast, Jasmine. She will, of course, once was a loyal supporter of Kinfolk and Nem, and we just felt like we need to go ahead and bring her on to the show. And tonight's her first show, so go ahead and introduce yourself, Jazz, to the people. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Oh my goodness, and the whole screen,
You
everything.
got it all.
I'm Jasmine. I'm from Michigan. You can follow me on all social media networks at Hot Tamale, HAWT_TAMALE.
Let them know. You got to let them know where the socials is at already. And you already know. We got to let these folks know if you are watching on Facebook or on YouTube, go ahead and make sure you like and share this broadcast. And, of course, if you are on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can make sure you check out our next broadcast in the future. All right. With that being said, unfortunately, we don't have Brett joining us tonight. He hopefully should be back with us next week. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into things. And hey, don't be hey.
How come Christine I don't never get any excitement like that when I'm on the show?
Because it's not about you.
Because obviously it's not about you, Ish.
Yay.
All right.
I mean, as the only African member, I would like some praise as well, too. Some raised hands, celebration.
So we getting special treatments here, huh?
Yeah, apparently.
All right. Speaking of people getting special treatments, apparently country music star Morgan Wallen is not getting too much special treatment on when it comes to his record label, dropping him after video surfaced of him apparently using the N-word. And apparently a lot of people are not too thrilled with him doing that. There are some people that are out here that feel like, hey, it's just freedom of speech. It's America. You can say what you want. But apparently his record label and the people that are in charge of paying him do not feel the same. And they decided to let him go. Well, day after him being let go by his label, apparently his digital sales have skyrocketed and increased about 227%. And a lot of people, of course, want to support him because they feel like he was done wrong. We've checked out the video. Apparently, I think Jasmine and Ish, y'all said y'all didn't really have a problem with what was said and what was.
I didn't say that.
My bad. I ain't say a problem. I'm saying it wasn't as bad. My bad. It wasn't as bad. My bad, guys. Okay, I'll let y'all. How about I'll let y'all talk? Go ahead, Jazz and Ish. How do y'all feel about it?
Fuck out of here.
No. So I see now you don't put words in my mouth. I thought it was like a whole argument between him and somebody else. And that's just from the way that Twitter made it seem. Not saying that it's ever okay. I'm never okay. Anybody using the N-word. That's my personal preference. I don't know why non-melanin people are obsessed with saying the N-word. It's one word you can't say, bruh. Just let it go.
Ish, you want to go ahead and say what you need to say so I won't put words in your mouth?
I mean, I just didn't say it was okay. I said I thought from the way that, we discussed it earlier and before I saw the video, I thought that it was something on the level of Riley Cooper, and it didn't appear to be that. Now, whether or not he should be saying the word, of course he shouldn't be saying the word. I mean, who's going to sit here and say that, oh yeah, he should say it or it's okay for him to say it? I mean, it's just another ignorant episode by somebody who clearly had too much to drink. So yeah, get it up out of here.
Nap, Greg, let me hear what you got to say.
I mean, I think people are probably taking a little bit out of hand just for the fact that he is drunk and he is just being belligerent. But at the end of the day, should he be saying it or not? We all have our opinion on it. He said it. I'm not listening to his motherfucking music. I didn't even know who he was. But all of a sudden, now he has tons of attention because of it. Why?
Because it's negative attention.
And we didn't have to give him that shit. Who gave him that shit? Was it white people? Oh, he said it. Okay, because if he did say it, let him say that shit and keep it over there. Because he gonna say it around them. Because if he say it around the right one, he gonna get chose. You feel me?
Okay,
So,
you're in the music industry, Napoleon. There are people that feel like, well, rappers say it. Other people say it in the music. They always like to throw Cardi B and other people that say it, and they will say, well, why can't we say it?
well, lots of reasons. Why can't you do crack? Tell me that. You're gonna go and buy some crack right now, just because niggas is out here smoking crack, getting high, having a good time, running up and down trees and shit.
How did we get to crack?
Tyrone Biggums, please bring it back. Bring it back, Tyrone.
But real talk though. Why? I'm just saying, if you really understand your history, if you understand the history of music, first of all, if you understand the history of hip hop and rap, right, you're gonna understand where all that shit comes from. So if you understand just respecting people that you would coexist with, if they are asking you not to do something, then it's just a respect thing to not do it, regardless of what the fuck you see going on. I can say and throw nigga around all goddamn day if I wanted to. And guess what? Ain't nobody gonna tell me shit about it. You can say, you can have your opinion, but it is what it is. Now, if you're white, I'm gonna be real with you, dog. Don't say it. Just don't say it.
But what about, again, Napoleon? What about the people that say this is America, home of the land, because of the brave,
home of the land,
home of the free. I'm sorry, home of the free. I apologize, home of the free because of the brave, and I'm able to say whatever I want to say because. Please shut the fuck up.
Just like some
military, he got it wrong.
That's perfectly fine. I don't give a shit.
Call each other bitches and hoes and bad this and bad that. You still not gonna run up to your girl and call her a bitch. So you still not gonna run up to a nigga and call him a nigga. I will, cause I might not even. I'm gonna walk up to somebody and be like, "How you doing, sir?" Cause why am I gonna direct that towards you? I don't know you like that. I'm not gonna direct or inflict any type of just. Not even that it's a negative word, but it's not necessary all the time to say. Just like it's not necessary all the time to drink, is it? It's not. It's not necessary all the time to smoke cigarettes or weed. You have other things that you need to take care of. But out of respect, you don't call Mexicans spics. You don't call Asians chinks unless you really fucking mean that shit.
Man,
nobody
really going down the slurs.
Really are, yeah. Let's calm down. All right, let's calm down. I got it. I just want to let me just go ahead and do this solo screen right quick because I want to say something. No, seriously, on a serious note, because it's 2021, and I'm not worried about what's been going on the last year when it comes to 2020. I'm talking about right now what we have a lot of smart people in the world. We have a lot of technology, a lot of resources that people can reach out to and do their research on. But we should know good and dang well by now what that word means and what it represents. If you feel like, no matter who you are, white, black, Hispanic, Asian, whoever you are, if you want to use that word, I feel like, let me explain before everybody gets on me. I feel like you can use any choice. Shut up, Greg. I feel like you can use any type of word and any type of phrase or anything that you want to use. But guess what? There are consequences for your actions. So if you say or you do something here in the United States or anywhere in the world, you have to understand that there might be some repercussions for your actions. So if you do say the N-word around your white friends, hey, and they're okay with that. I'm not gonna run from Houston and run all the way up to Conroe and beat somebody's ass. I'm not gonna run down to Baytown and beat somebody's or Galveston and beat somebody's ass because they said the N-word. But when you do it directly to a black person and you know what you're doing and why you're saying it, you're obviously doing it with some type of ill intent. So with that being said, you can say what you want. But just understand there's consequences for it.
You can say what you want, but be prepared to get your ass whooped.
So.
It's white people not being
I agree, Matt.
It's land of the free. Feel free to suffer the consequences.
I agree, Matt.
Land of the free and respect your neighbor. How about that? Because just genuinely, we all know what the fuck is going on. And if you choose to play dumb, you choose to play dumb. And to caveat on kind of what he said, if you want to say it around the community, you want to say it around, fine. We're not about to take flights, take boat trips, or drive down or bust niggas' heads open. No, it's really not that crucial.
It's not.
You said boat trips. Yeah, boat trips.
You get on that Tom Brady. You get on that Tom Brady Super Bowl boat. That's what you do.
On that avocado,
But just understand, of course, if we're coming out of a situation and you come to me direct, like, yo, nigga, this, that, and the third, I might have to slow you down. Like, all right, let's reformulate how you want to come at me, and let's talk like fucking human beings, because you about to get knocked out. It is what it is.
All right, so I'll also say this.
Even if you black and you come at me like, what's happening, nigga? I'm gonna be like, yo, because niggas will press you on some shit. If you know,
I don't even know you like that,
bro. You don't know me like that. Watch out,
like that, bro.
Like, watch out, dude.
I will.
Hey, I didn't get swung on like this before. Trust me, nigga. It's all right. I'm having PTSD flashbacks.
You ain't lying. Yeah, calm down. You sweating over there?
You a whole lot of nothing.
You ain't lying though.
It's all right. Real niggas know what's
up. You ain't lying. Greg, got anything to say about this topic before we get on?
I don't really have much to say, man. Country music star says the N-word. All the motherfuckers in my eyes are kind of racist in a way. I'm gonna be really honest with you.
Here we go. Here goes
Greg. They're white and they in country music. They have said the N-word before. They said the N-word. Like, let's be honest, bro. Like, this is not really newsworthy. If they're in country music and they're white, they have said the N-word before. This is what it is.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, Greg, I ain't gonna lie on that one. Greg might have a point on that one.
I'm just saying. I'm just taking it how it is. It might
Greg definitely might have a point on that one though.
But that's just how I feel. If you're white, you're in country music, you have said the N-word before. If you want to admit it or not, that's fine. But if you get your ass on tape, do not deny, don't deflect. Your ass said that. You said it. Not these niggas. Show white niggas. Y'all niggas said that shit.
This nigga. I definitely probably should have skipped Greg.
Oh yeah.
Them white niggas said nigga.
Oh, you white niggas.
Them white niggas said nigga.
This fool here. So okay, so with everything again with the fallout of what's going on, and I didn't state this earlier, but this actually is his second incident in the last less than 6 months. His first incident was apparently in October. He was supposed to perform on SNL. Apparently he got pulled from that because he got a little too drunk and made out with a couple of women at a bar and during the height of COVID-19, which maybe still is going on right now. We really don't know the numbers at the moment, but he got pulled from SNL for that. So he is 27 years old. You know, maybe one more time.
So
what I'm saying is maybe these are just some young mistakes. There are still people that are out. I know. There's people out here 44 still messing up, and they still out here getting excused for it. So a 27-year-old can still out here make mistakes, redeem himself, and keep it moving. It's welcome to life. And I will say this, because I've stated it before. America loves a comeback story. So don't be surprised in a year or two he comes back with
what is he coming back
whatever
from?
Because there's let me explain.
And how much is the cost?
Can I explain? There are a lot of people on social media that feel like cancel culture is BS. Mainly white people that feel like, oh, that's BS that y'all canceling folks. So a lot of people,
his sales
they the
go
main
up?
ones canceling people.
His sales only have gone up for a little bit. No, anybody can cancel anybody. Black folks can cancel people out. Black folks can cancel R. Kelly and all the other folks. What are you talking about?
Sales have gone up, correct?
For the moment ish, but you
So
still
what is he
have to
coming back from?
You still have to be able to when he comes back another year from now. Who knows? He might get re-signed by another label that picks him up. You can. That's what I'm saying. Like just because you had one incident doesn't mean your whole career or whatever is done with.
I mean,
I don't feel like he's been canceled.
Thank you, Nat. Thank you, Nat. He can go independent. He can go whatever. But I'm just saying.
I don't feel like he's been canceled.
Are you trying to say him being cut off the label is him being canceled? But
not just that, but also the people that listen to him or don't listen to him, they're probably not gonna listen to him anymore.
Well, his music shit his ratings went up, my nigga.
Yeah, that's what I'm not understanding.
His album sales went up for a second. It did not go up for the last 2.5 months. That's what I'm getting at.
So it went up for a week. He got paid administrative leave from the record label or some shit like that, probably.
Administrative
They probably treat him like a cop. He got paid administrative.
There you go, Greg.
It's a white dude. It's a white dude in country music saying niggas. Like, come on, bro. He's not cancer.
All right, buddy. You got caught on tape. Don't get caught next time. God damn it. We told you better than that.
All right. With that being said, we're gonna go ahead and move on to our next topic. We're going to go ahead and talk about our Black historian because, of course, it is Black History Month, and every week we will talk about a Black historian in Black culture. And Jazz, I know I'm not going to throw it right at you because you are new. I'm going to go ahead and throw it at Ish because since he has a book full of Black historians, let's go ahead and start off with you, and we'll circle back around.
Yeah, my Black historian this week is Rebecca Lee Crumpler. She was the first African American woman physician in the country. She also published a 2-part text titled A Book of Medical Discourses. The first part focuses on care for infants, and the second part, women's health. It's possibly the first medical article published by a black woman. So shout out to Rebecca Lee Crumpler. Also, I want to real quick, even though they're not sponsoring the podcast, I want to go ahead and shout out Little Leaders, Bold Women in Black History. There you go. This book right here, go on Amazon. If you got children out there, it doesn't matter what color your child is. If you got children out there, go ahead and cop this book and they can learn a little bit about some Black leaders, Little Leaders. It's real cute. I mean, we can go through a little bit. Let me show you some pictures here. Oh, look at that. Who is that right there? I think that's Ida B. Wells. Ida B. Wells.
Shout out to you, Ish. Appreciate that.
Little Leaders, Bold Women in Black History.
Appreciate you putting on game with the Black. I hope they have the NASA crew in there for.
Oh yeah, they got.
What's that movie that came out? I forget.
Oh, look right there.
Oh, look. Well, I didn't know if that was. I think ain't that
little astronaut.
Ain't that Mae Jemison? No, shouldn't that be?
It might be.
I think Allison Mae Jemison. I can't remember her name right now, but I know it's Mae Jemison last name. But no, that should be her, the astronaut, not the people that was on the ground in that part. But anyways, Nap, you next. Who you got? Who you got for us?
Shit, big fella, you can go ahead and skip me.
Oh, wow. Go ahead, Greg.
You want me to pick one for you, Nick, bro?
Go ahead. It's gonna double down on your boy. We're gonna hit the jackpot on this motherfucker one time.
Go ahead, Greg.
For my Black historian, I chose Garrett Morgan, born in 1877.
I was actually gonna pick him. I was actually gonna pick him too.
Why did you cut me off?
Because you do it to me all the time.
Not really. But anyways, he was born in 1877, passed away in 1963, so may he continue to rest in peace. 3 of his inventions that really stuck out to me was the black hair dye, the curved tooth comb used for hair straightening, and my favorite invention of his was the 3-light traffic light. Without that traffic light, there'll be more wrecks and more collisions than there will be right now. Even though people still run red lights, but I appreciate him for making those inventions. Great guy. So shout out to Garrett Morgan. Shout out to Garrett Moore's family. May he continue to rest in peace, and knowing that he left these 3 great inventions on the earth.
Hey, hold up, Kinfolk. Actually, the whole school ancient homie, Latigwe, he was a original indigenous Japanese black man, created martial arts that has formed into what we know it today. That's off the top, you fuck niggas.
Why does it have to be all that?
I'm trying to figure out the same thing. Like we're trying to give out information.
I mean, my goodness, the hostility.
Alrighty then, I'll go ahead and go. I got Wilma Rudolph, one of the greatest track runners out here in the world. I love her story. The reason why I picked her is because she was actually born prematurely, and the doctors told her that she wasn't going to ever be able to walk. Well, her mom didn't want to hear that, and she went ahead and got her some braces, and were able to help her be able to walk, and not just walk, but be able to run. And she was actually able to win a couple of medals in the 1960s Summer Olympics in Rome. She won a bronze medal in the 4x100 meter relay, and she also won she also competed in a 200 meter dash as well. So For me, I think Wilma Rudolph, if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have Jackie Joyner-Kearse, we wouldn't have Marion Jones, and we wouldn't be able to have Lolo Jones and all these other great track stars that we see in front of us if it wasn't for a woman like Wilma Rudolph.
Kim Duncan, shout out to Kim.
Hey, shout out to Kim, real shit.
Jazz, who you got for us?
I have Alfie Gibson. She was an American tennis player and a professional golfer, one of the first black athletes to cross the color line for international tennis. In 1956, she became the first African American to win the Grand Slam title, paving the way for one of the greatest athletes of all time,
Miss Serena Williams.
Bad.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yo,
One of the goats out here. That's another conversation we might have to have later on.
Can we just address that real quick?
Yes, sir.
Why everybody always calling out Serena? Why y'all never call out Venus, bro? I be feeling bad because Venus.
Well, because she the little sister that she Eli to Bay Manning.
I guess so.
We talk about Pay. I mean, but we also talk about Eli too because of the rings. But I mean, if it wasn't for the ring, we wouldn't be talking about it. I mean, let's be real. Unfortunately, Serena's been so dominant that it's made her sister's accomplishment look mediocre, which is kind of sad.
I mean, I just feel like the older sister, like she should get some loves too.
And if she has accomplished, I mean, I honestly don't.
I mean, she won some title, not to the level that Serena won, but
and that's the thing is,
So I think that's why Serena is in the conversation because she has done so much.
I mean, I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying we should give some love to Venus. Venus, I see you out there if you're watching.
By all means, she decorated Serena's house, and
she definitely watching. Of course, we got 500 viewers on it. Of course,
that's
watching.
A bet.
Of course, she watching. She out here in these streets. All right, let's go ahead and move on. And we have, of course, the Super Bowl 55 game we're going to, of course, talk about, and we're also going to talk about the post celebration that we just saw today with Tom Brady out here sipping on avocado tequila. He was out there getting lit on them boats, lit enough to be throwing out Lombardi trophies from boat to boat. I ain't never seen that before, but one thing I do know about Super Bowl parades, you never know what you're gonna get with them. So I appreciate the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for making us tune in to their enjoyment. So with that being said, Super Bowl 55, how did y'all feel about everything from the game to the halftime performance? Jazz, start off with you. I know you're excited about Tampa Bay being there, right?
I was very underwhelmed. Like I expected it to be a great game. I think everybody hyped it up really,
I know I did on the Sports Plug.
And Brady. I honestly, I thought it was gonna be a shootout. I thought it was gonna be tit for tat, and I'm just gonna say this, and then I'm gonna stop talking. I want to hear nothing else. I will not be surprised if they came out and said that Brady paid the refs.
Oh, anyways.
Next call.
Go ahead, Ish. Still a little hurt there. Kansas
City Chiefs.
I mean,
the
we're talking about the Super Bowl.
We're talking about the Bowl Super.
See, y'all out here when y'all win one. Don't be hiding when y'all lose one.
I got these Super Bowl edition Jays.
Nah, we ain't worried about that.
That's all I know.
We ain't worried about that.
Super Bowl.
No.
Super with the confetti, because when teams win the Super Bowl, there's confetti there. That's all I know about the Super Bowl.
So you didn't have any confetti in that shoe.
Shit, you can't even get a refund for them. God damn.
That's all I know about the Super Bowl. I don't know anything else. I don't even know.
All right, we're not gonna talk this no more because he's a little hurt. As y'all can hear, he's a Chiefs fan. He's still hurt. Just let him sulk right now. Greg, what you got for us?
The Chiefs played like ass. I mean, there's really no other way to put it. They played like ass. From start to finish, ass. No touchdowns, ass. Patrick Mahomes play like ass. Defense, ass. All across the board, there's ass. So that's all I got. And Tom Brady is the GOAT. That's all I got.
So I mean, again, I said the game and also halftime show. Nobody want to say anything about the halftime show? Was it
about us?
Oh, I'm saying. Yes, you're talking about the movie Us. No, I'm of course we're talking about the weekend and the very anticipated performance that he put so much money in. I saw a lot of people on social media saying that they enjoyed it and it was one of the best Super Bowl performances they've ever seen. I'm serious. That's what I read. And then I've seen a lot of people like us that feel like it was very underwhelming. And I like The Weeknd. I enjoy his music, but I didn't think it was that great of a performance. But apparently, I was getting thrown stones at for saying that it wasn't that great. So I just want to hear y'all's opinion on how y'all felt about it.
I feel like the memes that came from the halftime show was better than the halftime show.
For sure. That's big facts.
The only touchdown the Chiefs made is when they won the 7.
Facts.
You know,
Love you, Matt. That's a great comment. That's great. A that might be comment of the year on that show so far.
you know, I'm just going ahead and put my camera away.
Ish, we can still see you.
When y'all ready to change the topic,
You see what I did there?
when y'all ready to change the topic, then I'll return.
No, it was
Shit.
Well, the halftime show, I'm not necessarily a fan of The Weeknd, but it just didn't stand out to me as far as just like entertainment spectacles. We've seen what a spectacle is as far as a music performance. So maybe he gave us what he wanted to give us. That's fine. Maybe to him, in the way that he wanted to deliver it and present it, it was his masterpiece. That's okay. But as far as I think, especially with our general community, it just didn't come off like that. What I did notice is 100% African Americans out there, if I'm not mistaken.
No, you're wrong. It was a Hispanic guy that was out there. They all came out on social media saying that I was in the show and this and that.
Black, if you want to really go back
okay, if you want to do that, you're about to get beat up by Hispanics. Don't say that.
If you want to go back in time and look at
all right, Napoleon, you about to open up a can of worms. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Y'all know where I'm at. Y'all know
don't do it.
Y'all don't be on Clubhouse.
Being black. We can have the discussions about Asians being black. We can have the discussions about everybody being black.
Stop lying. Stop lying.
Now back to Super Bowl. The commercial.
Yeah, please do.
Commercials took ass.
Well, a lot of people that usually put a lot of money into the commercials apparently did not have their commercials running this year. They wanted to put their money into COVID relief, either through the nurses and doctors and all that stuff like that. However they distributed their money, that's what they wanted to put their money into instead of Super Bowl ads, which, I ain't got no problem. It's not my money. I don't care. But maybe that also did contribute to lack of, epic commercials. I think off the top of my head, the only really commercial that I can think of was the Drake commercial with State Farm, Drake popping up. Other than that, I really don't.
The baby commercial. I don't know who had the babies.
Which baby?
Will Ferrell joint.
Which Will Ferrell commercial?
It was 2 of them joints? I only seen one.
I'm asking you what Will Ferrell commercial. I
don't know. I don't remember what the fuck he was doing in that.
The EV commercial. It was for like Ford or
GM. the Hummer EV.
No, it was just for EVs basically.
Somebody else was in that shit.
Yeah, it was Will Ferrell. It was Keenan Mitchell was on there.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about. I don't remember the.
Well, I guess it wasn't that good.
It was not.
This was the first Super Bowl in like 10 years that I like.
It was GMC. Yeah, GMC.
Christian GMC. There you go. Yeah,
GMC. Same difference. All righty then. Yes, Oatly vegan oat milk had a commercial. Yes, they did, Matt. It was very awkward. He was just on his piano playing, and he zoomed out on him, and
let me tell you right now,
oat field.
That oat milk. if you go on plant based,
I sip on almond, but I might check
out.
We'll see what happens.
I can't stand.
Was that the first time they showed that Four Seasons landscaping commercial?
I don't know.
I don't watch commercials.
Bad in like beginning of third quarter.
Yeah. Well, I guess because the running joke, the former Agent Orange, and he
apparently Fiverr commercial.
Fiverr commercial.
If you didn't see it, you need to tell him Nap.
Napoleon, tell us about it.
Okay, I'll tell you guys about the Fiverr commercial. Apparently, Donald Trump, our former president, aka Agent Orange, he was supposed to order a room in the Four Seasons Hotel for a conference, and he ended up calling Four Seasons Landscaping. And I guess they knew it was Donald, and instead of getting the hotel, they ended up getting a landscaping crew to come out and fucking, I guess, landscape for them or some shit. I don't know. It was fucking weird. So they made a commercial about it, and it was actually quite hilarious. So that's that. I guess you got to know the backstory and all that good stuff.
So you're saying,
Christine in the comments having to correct you because you can't even tell the story right.
Room.
Well, I wasn't gonna tell it. Goddamn.
All right. Well,
holding the press conference at the Four Seasons instead of inside, he was just gonna be outside. I guess the nigga was gonna be outside the Four Seasons. I don't fucking know. It's really mad. But he got
literally nowhere close to the story. All right, thank you, Napoleon. We'll watch it later because you are no help, sir. You are no help at all. Well, all right. Let's go ahead and move on, and we want to go ahead and throw this topic out. Since we're talking about sports, we want to go ahead and talk about this right quick because I thought this was very interesting because of how it got reported on ESPN. So the Dallas Mavericks apparently have not been playing the national anthem for the first 17 games of the season. But apparently nobody said anything until this game. With that being said, Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, sent out a memo to all 30 teams in the NBA to let them know that you must play the national anthem. That's no... One more time, Jess?
I said, is that in writing? That's a requirement?
It was a memo that I saw when they showed it on ESPN. They showed the memo. So, yeah, it is. Yes, it's out there. But the thing, the pushback and the pull on this situation in the first place is we've become so brainwashed to think that the national anthem has to get played and has been played through sporting events since day one, that, of course, what's been going on over the last 5 years, it's pulling and tugging at people's hearts because of how they feel about the song, of course. People will say because of the military members or because they were in, they feel some type of way about it, or, because we're black, we also feel some type of way about it. At the end of the day, what Mark Cuban decided to do, he tried to do it. I mean, this is just another great example of just because you're in charge, unfortunately, it seems like there's always somebody above you. And even though Mark Cuban made that decision, there was still somebody above him that said, look, you can't make that decision because at the end of the day, what it hurts is the bottom line. It doesn't hurt feelings. It's hurting their bottom line. So that's the reason why they had to address, and that's why they had to make a change. Another Dallas team that plays in that same arena, American Airlines Arena, I appreciate Napoleon for bringing this up. The Dallas Stars apparently came out today and said that, Napoleon, would you like to repeat what they said?
No. Because I don't have the tweet pulled up immediately. Right. When I pull the tweet up, I'll go ahead and caveat back.
I really thought you just had it memorized or ready to go. That's why
I had it memorized, nigga. Damn. What the fuck do you think this is?
Nobody gonna have it ready. All right. Anyways, I'll paraphrase. The Dallas Stars are going to continue to.
Playing of the national anthem is a time-honored tradition, and the Dallas Stars will continue to form the Star-Spangled Banner prior to our games at American Airlines Center. As the only National Hockey League team in Texas, we are proud to present or represent our state and our country. Now, mind you, nobody asked them to say
Nobody asked them at all. Nobody asked them at all.
Nobody cares. Say shit.
Like, dude, nobody was even asking if y'all were gonna play. Like, nobody cares. What?
So what y'all are saying is what y'all are also saying is hockey being hockey. Pretty much, as in one thing I know about hockey is 98% white, and they love their Americans, and they love America, and they love being able to say to other sports, look how proud of America we are compared to NBA players or NFL players. They love to brag about that. And if Christina's listening, she can definitely comment in and say if I'm right or wrong on that.
It was definitely for clout.
Of course it was.
It was just them coming out to try to get attention on themselves, to be like, oh yeah, we're patriotic and the Mavericks are not. Like, again, nobody asked them.
Because here's the thing though. Here's the thing. If you actually, like Napoleon says all the time, if you know your history and you know who Mark Cuban is and you know what the Dallas Mavericks represent, Mark Cuban gives back to the troops every single year. And I'm not talking about giving no little money. No, I'm talking about actually takes care of them probably more than the damn VA. My father, former military member as well, has gotten tickets from when he was in San Antonio to attend a Mavs game because he was in the military and whatnot at that point in time. What I'm saying is that Mark Cuban, I know he might seem like a smug a-hole, this, that, and the third, but if you really do talk to a lot of different people when it comes to who Mark Cuban is, he really is down for the cause. And I ain't talking about our cause. I'm just talking about the betterment of everyone. So I appreciate Mark Cuban for not turning the national anthem off. I ain't talking about that, but I appreciate him for at least taking a stand to say, look, we don't even need this in sports anymore when it comes to why are we, seriously though, think about it, seriously, why do we have the national anthem before a sporting event? Somebody answer me that.
Do you want the real answer?
Oh, yes, now. Tell me then. Tell me.
Because it's a goddamn slave plantation. That's why. You thought I was going to say money? No, nigga.
Anyways, all right. Christine says, I don't know. I feel like there's more Canadians than Europeans, so it's not so American patriotic, but it's definitely not a representation of any people of color in any way or trying to be inclusive.
That's a representation.
Representative.
Bro, this
thank
nigga
you.
always misspelled words and mispronounced words. It's crazy.
All right. So, anyways, anybody got anything else to say about the topic?
Stupid. Listen, man, like you said, why do we need it? Sorry, Jazz, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, everybody made this big fuss before the protests, teams weren't even out for the national anthem. And so now it's all a big deal. People are all up in the uproar. I agree. Why do we need it before a sporting event? Like playing hockey or playing basketball, that's so patriotic. That's the American thing to do. It's not necessary.
And let's go back to the hockey thing. Most of your hockey players are not fucking American, bro.
Christine just made that point.
She did, but I wasn't paying attention.
That's how it goes a lot in your house, huh? That's how it goes. Christine says something you're not paying attention.
They're not American. I thought she was talking about the basketball players when she said that. But again, I
definitely did ask her how she feel about the hockey situation.
I definitely didn't ask her about representation. Shut your ass up.
All right. Anybody else got anything to say?
You gotta do better, bro. You gotta do better.
Yeah, I know. Anyways, typical look at what happened when I asked him to tell him the story of the commercial. Well,
yep.
Yeah. That's something y'all two figure out. Y'all got it. All right. With that being said, let's go ahead and move on to let's go ahead and move on to our next topic of the night. Maria Montessori Academy out in
some
Utah.
more goddamn fuckery. It is, goddamn it. I'm tired of it. It's fuckery. Go ahead. Shit.
Y'all got it. You can.
Bro, I got a headache.
Me too. We know what all this shit is centered around. Goddamn it. We're trying to play games with these goddamn folks out here.
Oh,
go ahead.
Y'all want me to say?
So wrong with this nigga, bro. For real. Wrong with this nigga. Like,
I'm about to say, can I introduce the topic first before y'all, go out crazy.
Bro, I didn't say anything.
That's Napro, dumbass.
It's this.
All right. With that being said, a school in Utah, charter school in Utah, called Maria Montessori Academy, decided to go ahead and maybe make Black History Month optional, meaning that their parents could opt their kids out of learning about Black History Month, or Black History, I'm sorry, during the month of February, until, of course, they got a lot of flack for it. So they went ahead and decided to change course to where they will go ahead and teach Black History Month. But with that being said, we wanted to bring this topic up in the first place because why did it have to lead, or why did all the outrage that y'all got from other people had to lead y'all to go ahead and make that change for changing it back into teaching Black History Month? Is it because in that area of Utah you don't feel like it's important? Do you feel like it's not necessary? Or also, do you feel like, because we talked about this before as Black people, we feel like the curriculum from school districts don't teach Black history the way it needs to in the first place? So do people maybe feel like, well, if you're going to teach it wrong, how about you just don't teach it at all? Could we also maybe feel that type of way? So I just want to hear how y'all feel about this topic.
I guess I'll take a strike at it. Basically, this is just a normal American story about people don't want no smoke when they asses in the light. That's pretty much all that is, man. I know X asked the question in the group chat. I'll bring it to the forefront as well. Do you think this is going to be a trend? I think so. I think I'm definitely going to see like your typical racist states, the Mississippis, the Alabamas of the world. I might see them do them. I ain't gonna lie. Shout out to everybody stay in Mississippi, Alabama, but y'all racist as fuck out there. Anyways, racist as fuck everywhere, but y'all more highlighted on being racist. It's more documented. Anyways, point of the matter is this. Yeah, I think this is going to be a trend. I really do. I really think that it's going to be happening in other states. This is a classic case of, it's blown up, it went viral, and y'all motherfuckers got caught up, and now y'all want to change it because y'all fucking full of shit and y'all don't stay in on what y'all believe in. Y'all racist as fuck. Now when you go viral, you want to change it now. Fuck off. That's how I feel.
Anybody? Jazz? No.
I agree. Like, I think they have 322 some odd students. 3 of them are Black. Parents can feel the need for their kids to learn about Black history. They had all these activities set up, and the parents put their kids out after they made it optional. And the only reason why it became mandatory is because it got public attention. Clearly, I mean, never mind the fact that Black History Month at school was already watered down as shit, and all this Rosa Parks and King, and how we loved him so much, and all that other bullshit. But to not even teach the watered down version is bullshit. Regular history that they teach is bullshit. All the school history exams.
And it sounds like they aren't teaching any Black history. So it's like you only choose to teach Black history during the month of February. Then you probably choose to be very particular about the history that you were teaching, right? To caveat what Jazz said, the American history, the world history that you're giving the students is probably fucking trash too. You know what I mean? So now you've been pressed, and now you feel some pressure. So you're going to do something that, kind of you feel like is going to ease the bind in your community, not necessarily the world. Because you only got 3 Black kids at school, so you don't got to do much. You know what I mean? But now that it's viral, people see that, and they can say, now we can choose not to teach. You feel me? Like, I mean, hey.
I just want to comment on Matt's comment right quick. He says, adding that I don't think it was enough because they only really told us about Martin Luther King Jr. Nobody ever mentioned Tulsa Massacre, for example. Well, just give you a heads up, Matt, they don't teach it in Texas and Mississippi, and they only teaching in Oklahoma. I'll let you know straight up. I know people that are from Oklahoma that have told me that they purposely kept it out of Oklahoma textbooks because they don't want it to be taught. And there's a reason for that. It's not just that. It's other things in history of the United States that have gone on that they try to keep buried because they don't want you to know the truth. And that's, I'm sorry, that's not okay. I'm sorry. It's okay to black people when it comes to, we understand that we've been done so wrong for the last how many ever years that we as black people, we know how wrong we've been done, and we keep crying out all the time, but it just sometimes seems like that nobody takes our cries seriously. So sooner or later, you're going to start seeing, black people either do one or two things: either go off the hinges, kind of like, we just saw the past couple of years. People get mad, feel some type of way about the riots and this, that, and the third. Well, if you push certain people over the edge, what do you expect? I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying. So, again, so you could use that same logic for people that went through Congress and a couple months ago. But that's here nor there. What I'm getting at is black folks are so used to this. It's unfortunate because we don't control the pen of history in the United States, right? All we can do is just literally try to educate the next generation with our own experiences, because I know, for the most of us, we've had either grandparents or grandparents that have told us stories, our uncles or aunties or whatever, that have told us certain stories of certain historical figures that might seem like textbook people to other people, but they were real people. Martin Luther King Jr. was a real person, especially in the city of Atlanta. It seemed like he wasn't just, of course, he wasn't just a regular person. He was a preacher. He was somebody that was very, very heavily in that Atlanta community, so when he passed, it was a big loss in that community. So I think we now moving forward, and I've talked to Napoleon about this, when it comes to, I look around and I don't see like any leaders anymore the way that they was in the 60s and 70s, right? So moving forward, like, we have to become the leaders. And it's kind of unfortunate, but that's just what I see. So.
But
also, go ahead, Jasmine.
One thing that I noticed as far as how they represent history is a lot of the pictures are in black and white, and it's forcing the narrative that this happened so long ago.
No, not to cut you off on that, Jazz, but that ain't really a big deal. I'm just being honest. Like, just black and white pictures, that's not a big deal. I'm just being honest. Telling the story is way bigger than black and white pictures. I'm just being honest.
My thing is, they're trying to say that this happened so long ago, and that's so far in our history, and that we've grown from this. When this happened 30, 40 years ago, it's not that far ago. These people that still experience this are still alive. These same people that passed these laws are still in Congress, still making laws, still in, like, they try to make it seem like it was so long ago, and you don't realize the same people that was making laws then, that was making laws of segregation, are the same people that's in Congress right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you, quote unquote, drain the swamp then?
We got to be the people that's in Congress. We got to be the people that's making laws.
How? How though?
If
you're saying this is what I'm saying though. You say we as in, like, you talking about us regular people, or you talking about the people that are actually in, the young people that are in Congress actually trying to make moves? I'm just trying to figure out what you mean by that.
We as us young black people.
Well, the country has to, you have to vote as, like, people in the country have to vote to put these people in office. So
I think I want to say something that throws something out here. I definitely believe that the credible sources that X has, as far as the people that live in Oklahoma, and them not knowing about it, knowing that they live in the same state where the Tulsa massacre happened, the shit that we actually need to know about, especially for the simple fact of, like, same stuff that we're talking about today is the same stuff that happened back then, but it got fucking destroyed. Right. So if the people in Oklahoma don't know about this and it happened in the same fucking state that they need to know about this information, why the fuck would a motherfucker in Utah want to know about this shit?
Right.
And those adults are pretty much trickling down that knowledge and that same pieces and them same ridiculous ass shit about wiping the history rate to these kids. So these kids don't give a shit. So I'm pretty sure when kids got told, oh, we're going to take away Black History Month, they didn't give a shit. So, If they don't give a shit, they're gonna go off what the adults go off of. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I will say this. And y'all can be mad at me if y'all want or whatever. But seriously though? Why does everybody think that schools need to teach your kids what they need to know? Isn't that what at home's for?
What are you talking about?
I'm asking. What I'm saying is, if an individual wanted to be educated on certain things or whatnot, of course, we do have the internet right here in your palm of your hand. What I'm saying is, if parents, white parents, Hispanic parents, Asian parents, whatever, if you teach your kids on how to just be respectful of others and do this and do that, I don't think that a young white person has to go through Black History Month, because let's be real, most of them don't even give a shit anyways, to understand how to be nice to a black person or understand or learn about Black history or this, that. They can do that on their own. They don't have to do it in February.
That's
they can
not
do
the
it.
problem.
Okay,
that's
I
not
got
the
you.
problem.
I got you.
That's not the problem.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I knew I was going to get
no.
That's fine. No, y'all got it. Y'all got it. Y'all got it.
Let me give X and flowers because let me go.
No, it's fine. No, I don't need flowers. It's good. Y'all got it.
No. I'm actually agreeing with you, bro. If you let me, because you said like last week on the episode that a part of parenting nowadays is that the internet is kind of sort of in that mix, right? Of kids being raised, outside of their parents, right? That's kind of what your point was. So, I mean, they have the information out there if you want to get on Google. I mean, most 6-year-olds know how to work a fucking, iPad or wherever the case may be. So if they want to look that shit up, it's nothing to throw out a name and them to Google it, So they have that extended stuff outside of school.
Yeah, but are they gonna go and Google? I want to learn Black history because I want to
be surprised. You'll be surprised
because I want to respect Black people and Black history.
You'll be surprised, Napoleon.
If that was the case, they would be doing it right now. If that was the case, they would be
Napoleon, do you know what every white person doing in their home?
Not studying Black history, my nigga.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
Hey, real quick, can I ask y'all a question?
Right?
I guarantee it. The way the world is right now, they ain't studying Black history, my guy.
Real quick, can I ask y'all a question real quick about this?
Yes. What is the question?
So it's a little weird to me that as the only African person in the group right now, like it appears that y'all are missing the point. Like, yes, you can go and educate yourself and you can teach your kids whatever they want to learn, but y'all are clearly way off the mark, missing the point. The point is not about like, oh, you should be teaching your kids about Black history, or why don't you teach your kids about Black history, or even like, oh, you should be inclusive enough so that you teach your kids to be nice and want to learn about this stuff. That's not the point. And it's weird to me that as the only African, like I'm the only one that's noticing what the point is and what the whole reason why this is a big discussion in the country. The reason why this is a big discussion in this country is because this is y'all's history. Y'all, Black Americans, are Americans. So as part of American history, your history should be taught in the country's history curriculum. Like that should be part of that.
First of all,
curriculum.
Yeah, I know that. I never.
Yeah, you reaching this. You're reaching this.
You're American.
But continue.
How is that?
You reaching, but continue.
The biggest problem is that all of the history is Black history. The history has been ranked. The history has been
perfect world.
We
That's
know
the definition of a perfect world answer, man.
You're coming to someone who understands that history is already whitewashed.
Line is, my nigga.
So why do I have to say that out loud? We know that the history is whitewashed. History is not being told the way that it is.
Reality, my nigga.
At the end of the day, it's not Black history; it's American history, right? At the end of the day, it's American history.
American history.
Okay, so that's the point. Look, it's
at the end of the day, it needs to fucking be told.
That's what I'm going to get at. If we're going to talk about the 60s, you better incorporate not just what's going on in white people. It needs to be incorporated what's going on with Black people as well too.
That's the reason why this is a big conversation, because we always try to say like, oh, why aren't they teaching Black history? It's not Black history. It's American history. That is part of the country's history. So it should be.
No, it needs to be separated.
Nah, that's it, Black, my nigga.
It needs to be separated though. It needs to be separated though.
That's it, Black, my nigga. Fuck
I'm not
that
gonna lie.
shit. It's
It
black,
needs
my
to be
nigga.
separated.
It's
It
black
needs to be
history, my
separated.
nigga. Black Foundation of America. How about that? Teach
It
that.
needs to be separated. It
Teach
needs to be
that shit.
separated.
The Black Foundation of America. How
All
about
right,
that?
let me bring up these comments right quick. Let me
I'm
bring these
kind of
comments real
disappointed
quick.
you. That's a blur. You must have blurred
Christine
line.
says, I grew up in Philadelphia. I didn't learn anything about the history of the Black
It
Panther
is.
Party here. Houses in black communities being bombed to go after the Black Panthers, etc. Of course, Matt said that as well. And then she says, then why do we teach any history?
Control.
Why go to schools if parents are supposed to just teach them kids what they want them to learn? Well, I have a question. Okay, I have a question, Christine, for you. Why do we get taught physics if we're not going to use it on an everyday basis? Why do we get taught? Why do we get taught?
Why do we do anything that we fucking do in life?
Now, why do we get taught the Pythagorean? Like, why do we get taught all these dumbass things that we're not going to use?
Why do we drive
No,
cars?
Ishmael, I'm
Why
not.
do we use
I'm not
Facebook?
disappointed.
That's all I'm saying. Look, when you become
What are you talking about, Greg? Please explain to
I
me.
literally, did you hear what I just said? What you think I'm talking about? You know what English is, nigga. I said I'm disappointed in you.
Why?
What the fuck you
I
talking
don't
about?
understand. Why?
Because you made a bunch of blurred line statements. What the fuck? I
How?
just
What
told you.
what is
I
blurred
said that
about
like
it?
5 times,
What
nigga.
is blurred
You hear
about
it?
it? What
You act like
you still
Breakfast
haven't
episode? I said
you
that
still
5 fucking
haven't
times.
you still haven't explained anything. Like all you did
Bro,
was raise
you
your voice and say
gave
you
perfect- I
blurred
said it again.
line,
I'm
blurred
gonna
line,
say it
blurred
again.
line.
You're giving perfect world answers, nigga. This shit
How
needs
is
to be
that
separated.
perfect world answer?
Nigga, okay, go. Say it again.
How is
Say
that
it
a
again so I
perfect
can catch you.
world?
Say it again so I can catch you. Say it
How is
again
it
so I can
perfect
catch you.
world?
Say it again. Say what the fuck you just said so I can catch you again. Go ahead.
Can I say something real
It's-
quick? I also feel like Ish.
No,
I,
no, you're
Ish.
wrong
I
again.
think you also speaking on somebody like you say. You say you're African. You're not from America, right? I mean, you're not. I'm sorry, black, and your family is not from America. That actually had to deal with the shit here, not your parents because they
I don't
weren't
think
here.
that really matters, bro. 'Cause
I mean,
nobody
I'm not
knows
saying it does. I'm not saying it does in it, but I'm just saying what I'm saying
Nobody
is
don't
we
know
have
that
a look.
when it's-
Like
yeah,
my
yeah.
family has 4, 5, 6, 7 different generations here in the United States. So the way I go about and carry my life, I feel like I should be able to do that because at the end of the day, I have multiple generations that's been on this land and have got done over so many times that we might need to go ahead and make different changes on how we go about what we've done in the past because it hasn't worked, either good or bad, whatever it has. But what I'm saying is in 2021,
What the fuck you talking about?
I got you, Nap. I got you. In 2021, because of who I am as a black male, knowing what's going on in this world, I have to move a certain way, and that's what I tend to do. But continue.
What does that have to do? What does that have to do with
Okay, wait,
teaching
for
history?
real.
Because
My thing
again,
is-
what I'm getting at is I do not rely on the school district to teach my kids Black history. My father
Nobody
is the
said
one.
to rely on
I
that.
got you. I got you. And I'm using my own personal experience. That's what I'm getting at. And I'm saying
rely on the school systems to teach your kids. I understand you're going to teach your kids outside of the school, but what the school is teaching is the narrative of society. That's how we are perceived. That's how life is perceived. You should want.
it's not just schools. It's media. It's the media though. The media is worse than
No,
schools.
it's schools. It's the textbooks. It's what
It's-
they're learning
all
in
right.
school. You don't. I mean, like she-
Now again, your kids learn learn more from Roblox and mine. What's the other little stupid ass video game? Minecraft and all that shit. They learn from that more than they learn from school.
At 8 hours, almost
Wait.
9, probably 10, maybe 12 hours a day, they're at school and they're learning bullshit.
So, Jazz,
What
can
do
you
you
apply that to what's going on right now with this virtual learning shit? Are they learning shit now?
Probably not.
I know people that apparently their
Can you
grades.
apply it
I know
right now?
people that have
That's
kids
what
that
I'm
their
saying.
grades have
That's
gone up
blurred
because of
line
virtual learning.
fucking Statements, bro. What
It's
about
not
right now?
blurred.
Yes,
All I said
it
is
is.
what they're learning
Yes,
is
it is.
needs to be accurate. How is that blurred?
Yeah,
They're
how
not
is that
learning nothing.
blurred?
Period.
That's a hell no, Christine. That's a
They're
hell no
not learning
because
nothing,
I've been
period.
through
They're not
that
learning
school district. They ain't
nothing.
teach me nothing.
They're not learning
That's
nothing.
that comply as a 30-year-old.
They're not learning nothing, period. Virtual learning ain't doing shit for them. You got motherfuckers all the time going viral with kids getting their hair cut or they're fucking gotta be at school in a class. What are you talking about?
Or doing a
They're not
TikTok
learning shit.
dance.
They're not learning shit. Fuck are you talking about? Another blurred line out statement.
You talking about
What are you
right
talking
now?
about?
You're talking about what's been taught, what we were taught.
No, I'm talking about right now in 2021. That because this story went viral in 2021.
Right now in 2021, it's clear that these schools are not teaching Black history. They're not teaching true American history. All this shit is lie. We're being fed a boatload of fucking doggy bullshit. That's what the fuck is going on.
All
I'm
right.
confused at what is so blurred about the statements, but
There's nothing blurred about what you said. They're not teaching us this accurate shit across the board. And we all fucking know that. Whether it's black, whether it's white, whether it's the right type of mathematics, English, grammatics, whatever the fuck the case may be. All the energies are misdirected. And especially when you want to talk about culturally, are they learning about Native Americans probably?
Ooh.
Or properly?
Ooh.
Probably fucking not.
So we talk about history. So we talking about want to talk about history.
Right? Probably fucking not.
And
Are
all
they
that
even
shit needs to
learning
be
about
separated.
Hawaiians
All
or
that shit
all
needs
of
to be
America?
separated.
Probably fucking not.
Put them on that.
Are they actually learning how America got any of the land or any of the territory or put any of the policies in place that happened? Probably fucking not. Because
I don't know why it needed to be separated. Can you explain that?
why what needs to be separated?
He said,
I don't think it needs to be
not
separated.
you, Nap.
Oh
Greg
yeah, I don't think it needs to be separated.
All the histories need to be separated. Why? When it's one history.
It's one history. It's one history, my brother. It's one history, my brother. It's one history, my
It can't
brother.
be one history that keeps getting erased. It can't be one history that keeps getting erased.
It's one history that
So
keeps
you
getting
say
erased.
that's
What
when
do you
you read
mean?
it, go get erased.
It's one history still, my nigga. It's not
I'm
two.
not getting it. We don't have enough time, bro.
It's one history. Oh, let me wipe this out and put this over here. And I get what you're saying. Now we got something new from the result of that, but we know what the fuck, how to break this shit down and go back. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
All right, I got a question. All right, I got a question for everybody
I mean,
before we get up out of here because we're about to wrap this up tonight.
We about to
Now, how do y'all feel about people that will say we are tripping when it comes to, I guess, trying to figure out if Black history should still stay in the curriculum moving forward, or us as Black people, are we tripping about, I guess again, just the movement of what's going on with Black history and just where it lies? Because again, if we talked about this, it usually starts with civil rights. I'm sorry, with slavery, and it ends with civil rights. But we never talk about all of Black history, and we never talk about, like, I agree with Napoleon. We don't talk about anybody else's history for the most part. And if we do, we talk about it for 2 seconds and move on. If we gonna talk about America, why don't we talk about the whole thing? And not just the bad part of black stuff too. It's always with Black, but it's always slavery, getting your asses beat during the civil rights era, and riots now. That's the only thing we're gonna talk about now.
Well, now that I have the caveat, the underlining thing too, I have to say that you just said is, if you want to really deal with, healing, you have to deal with the good and you have to deal with the bad, and you have to be open to discussion for all of it, and you have to be open to discussion for all of the information. But the problem here is, and continues to be, that information is being kept and held from the general masses and shit. So niggas don't know what the fuck is what. So now we just move how the fuck we move because we don't know shit. Like,
people don't want to admit how horrible shit was, how awful
real shit.
They don't want to, it was horrible. It was terrible. People did some horrible shit. People still doing fucked up shit, and they don't want to admit to it. The history is ugly.
That's America.
Cut out
That's the history.
I agree with that.
That's the history.
I think the point of emphasis we're all getting to is agree, right?
So teach it. So teach it.
Subcategories and the sub points and everything.
But they don't want to, because we know what the system is about.
The thing about America, they don't want to look at themselves in the mirror and admit that they were wrong.
That they racist.
Well, that the country was built on racism. It was built on the backs of slaves, and it was built on the backs of Black folks. Even though, again, it's not going on now, you are still able to reap the benefits of what happened back then. And what I'm saying is, of course, is not every white person did this, or not every white person has benefit off this, and not every white person has slave master ancestors. I'm not saying any of that at all. But what we are saying is that when you do have a head start when it comes to being able to read, being able to go to school, being able to do this, being able to do that, it definitely does put you in an advantage to where you're able to build your community the way you want to. And then when you're able to hire who you want to hire, you're able to, like I said, move the way that you want to move. But when you get into this era where, from what I see, it seems like a lot of people feel some type of way about how America is kind of changing. And you have a lot of white people that feel like they're being taken over by this Black and brown population. And it seems like they are trying to hold on as much as they possibly can to their land, to their homes, to their guns before the government takes them away and black and brown people just take over the United States.
Right, because they're so scared.
Yeah. All righty then. So with that being said, for the night, that's another episode of Kinfolk and Nem. We do appreciate everybody for tuning in.
Oh, Smiley Song, feed me.
Yes, that's what Napoleon's about to do after the show's over with. All right, appreciate that. And like I said, next time I see you guys next week on another episode of Kinfolk and Nem at 9:30.